little thing approaching me. She said, you see the man who looks so all alone, and could you use a little company? Pay the right price, your evening will be nice, and we could go and send me on my way. I said, you're such a sweet young thing, oh, why you do this to yourself? She looked at me, and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed, and there ain't nothing in this world for free. Well, I can't slow down, I can't hold back, even though I wish I could. No, there ain't no rest for the wicked till we close our eyes for good.
Sometimes people say, Pete, you gave up your career in banking. What the hell are you doing with your time? And I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm working my tail off with my good friend Tyler Shazma all week, hitting the roads all over Ontario, trying to bring laughter and joy to people. Because you know what happens tomorrow, David?
Tell me, Peter.
Their Christ becomes killed.
Oh, I know.
Murdered on the cross. I know you get real sad about that.
Sad and happy.
But Shazma's here. Tyler Shazma, our good friend of the show, is here. And that means that we are going to have laughter and joy brought to you poor Christians who have to go through a day of sorrow tomorrow. But there's only one way to do it. There's only one way to get to it, Dave.
How's that, Peter?
It's a theme song. Welcome everyone alive from the Dutch Hall. We are Canada's only late night talk show, and we are the greatest podcast ever to come out of a pool shed in Pine Grove, Ontario. And I believe we got both of those credits because we have the greatest band in Canadian late night history, the Nocturnal Emissions.
Oh yeah, all right.
That's right, and they are comprised this week of a skeleton staff, but I think a really great one nonetheless. On vocals and rhythm, the man that writes the music for the show. He's been away for a couple weeks, but he's back tonight. Dave the Rooster Charters is here, everyone.
Hello. All right.
Beside him, he's wearing many hats. He's not only on lead guitar, as you hear right now, but he's also playing the roles of the balls of the Nocturnal Emission this week.
That's right.
German balls, but they are reluctant German. Steve the Reluctant German, as a matter of fact, is here. Let's hear it for him, everyone.
Stevie! Balls.
Oh, and tickling the skins over there. He's wearing his hazmat suit as always because he doesn't know what kind of trouble he's going to get into. He's our CRTC required French Canadian, the French tickler. Kev Belanger is here.
Environmentally friendly.
And our guest tonight, he's well known to the listeners of this program. He is literally just coming from headlining a gig here in Nixon, the big entertainment capital of Norfolk, I say. I've been traveling around a lot with him this week, and I'm happy to have him here tonight. Tyler Shazma is here. Woo!
Tyler!
Yeah. Now,
Now introducing the host from live from the Dutch Hall, two-time President Award winner, Pete Van Dyke.
I like that. All right.
Yeah. That's how you do an intro right there.
That is a great intro.
there.
You know, Shaz, I was a little worried because Shaz had to fill the shoes of Paul Van Dyke. Not only is he a guest of our show, but he also has to fill the shoes of the director of this program. I didn't make him bartend tonight. I filled the whiskey shots myself.
Thanks, Pete. Should we do those now?
We should actually. We should start the show out with a shot of whiskey, and this is the end. How we end Lent, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dave.
That's right.
When does it end? Sunday? It doesn't end.
It ends Saturday night, right after the Easter vigil.
But let me tell like this. This is Holy Thursday. It's a big deal for the staunch Catholics out there. And just like Jesus himself on Holy Thursday, he had wine and bread. We have whiskey and cheese tray.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a holy charcuterie board over there.
So please drink of my whiskey and eat of my cheese tray.
Absolutely.
it's amazing.
Happy Holy Thursday, everybody.
Thank you, Peter.
Cheers. And I forget who gave us that bottle of
What
the.
is that? It's delicious.
It's a 40 Crick.
I haven't had a whiskey shot in so long.
Woo. It's like a
welcome
Van Dyke
back.
wedding. It shakes right up in your
Oh,
spine.
yes. I like it.
Really tickles the pine in your ears, you know?
Ooh. The whiskey burp is like it's a reminder of what you just did.
You know what I like? It makes me melancholy, Peter. Makes me melancholy on a holy Thursday. A nice shot of whiskey makes me remember.
Jesus' feast. This was a big deal for him. Like everything was going well for
a big
Jesus.
night.
Right? Tell me what was going on. You're a staunch
He's
Catholic.
got all his friends around him.
right?
right.
All his buddies, just like we
Yeah.
do today.
He's got
Except for-
wine. He's got a nice vat or what do they call it? Carafe of wine.
You think it was real wine, or you think it was just like a jug
Probably-
of water? And he
Probably
just goes,
started out as water, but yeah,
Yeah. It was
he
a
does what he
Presto
wants, right?
changeup.
Yeah, he does what he wants.
Right.
Nice carafe of wine,
Right.
and sitting down for a nice meal, right?
What do you
With
think
your
they're eating?
friends. Oh, bread. They're breaking bread.
Right. Maybe they had some fish too, because there was a lot of fishermen that were.
Yeah,
the
lots
disciples.
of fishermen. Yeah,
So they probably would have caught some fish.
I betcha. Probably smoked it. They're eating some nice smoked fish, bread, wine. What could be better?
They're having
Having a great time with your friends.
yeah. Where's Judas?
Judas. He steps away from the table for a
He's
bit.
he's cooking up a scheme, right? Old
Yeah.
Judas.
Wow.
You know the
Yep.
Bible. You know the Bible, Shaz.
Not a lick of it.
They're great stories, really.
Old Judas
They're really
needed
good stories, yeah.
Judas needed some silver in his pocket.
Yeah, he did it, and then he hung himself.
Yeah.
But he felt too guilty.
He betrayed his friend. Got his friend taken away from the nice dinner.
No, Judas was at the dinner, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Because he said like.
Yeah, Jesus said,
Jesus
whoever,
said, "Hey,
yeah.
one of you guys is gonna
Whoever
double
drinks from
cross
my
me."
cup or something, he like passed the cup to Judas or something.
Yeah,
He
but
gave it to him.
Dips his bread.
he was there eating with all the rest of them.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then he went out and he still was the turncoat, eh?
Yep.
Judas.
Sold him down the river.
Well-fed turncoat.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what happened.
What did he do with his money? He just bought a rope.
Yeah, he didn't even buy a rope. He had a rope already. He just let the silver coins fall to the ground in a heap.
Is that from a movie, or is that in the Bible?
I think it's in the Bible.
Are you
They fell
sure?
at his feet.
Mel Gibson's
Right,
Bible.
right beside that guard's ear. It
Wow.
landed right beside the ear of
What?
the guard.
In slow motion.
Oh, who
when
cut
they came
the
to get Jesus,
Peter cut the ear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cut that guy's ear right off.
Yeah, and then he went
Yeah.
and denied
Like
that he
something
was.
out of a Quentin Tarantino movie.
I like going to church. I'll tell you, this is what I used to. This is a joke at work. Every year, there's what are you doing for Easter weekend? I always say the same thing. I go on Thursday, I feast. On Friday, I mourn. On Saturday, I reflect, and on Sunday, I rejoice.
That's how you do it.
What the fuck does everyone else do
Yeah.
on Easter
You know
weekend?
what I
right?
normally do on a Thursday, on a holy Thursday? I go to church.
Yeah, incense on that day.
Yeah. It's a big night.
Yeah, you're a
long
big.
night.
You're the closest thing I have to a real Catholic that
Yeah.
I know as a friend.
The only thing that's more important to me than Holy Thursday Mass is live from the Dutch Hall. It's the only
You
thing
gave it right
in
up.
life.
Amazing.
That's
You
why
know-
I'm here.
You know what the one thing about church is that if you go to one Holy Thursday Mass, you've gone to them all. You know what I mean? They don't change the words very much. Like once every 20 years, they kind of change the words up, but you can kind of get away with. I know it. I know what's
Yeah.
going to happen. I just told you, Judas and all that shit.
That's right. Everyone knows it. It's still a gig, though, right?
No, you know it because you were forced to go to church as you were a kid, and then you learn all the stories, and then you chose it yourself, and do it to your kids and all that stuff.
Yep.
And you tell them the same.
They're doing it. They're at church right now, I bet.
Are they really? Is one of your kids an altar server?
No.
You don't do that anymore.
No.
What do they have? Robot altar servers now?
No, they actually have
With
some
like
kids
pocket
from the
pussies
community.
in the back?
No.
Is that what they have in the cafe?
Peter.
No.
Come on.
What?
Pussies? Come on.
No. Oh. You can put
No.
3 attachments on that thing, Dave.
No, there's lots of altar servers. My kids just never aspired to be altar servers.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're still doing that. Yeah. I go.
Still do it.
I
No
go to
big
church.
deal.
I'm going to go to church on probably tomorrow. Are we going to church tomorrow? No, we're not going to. We're not going to go. But it is a good one.
3 o'clock.
The Good Friday one's a pretty good one. Why? I'll tell you why. No music, so it shortens the mass quite a bit.
Yep.
But then all of a sudden there's music because the one guy appears in the back with the cross and starts. This is the wood of the cross.
Oh,
Remember that?
Do you go to Waterford?
I do the Waterford Church. In my head, I always hear.
On which is hung the Savior of the world.
Yeah, it was an old Dutch guy.
Yeah.
And he would just hold it up and he goes, "Come, let us worship," and then he could go down again, right? Because
Yeah.
our priest didn't sing very good.
Thank
But that
God,
Dutch
yeah,
guy
the
liked
Dutch
to do it.
guy,
Yeah, he went up and did it. But anyways, I like that one. And then, but the part I don't like is the prayers that go on way too long, where they pray for everybody, and they go
Oh,
like,
at the end, you think the mass is over, but they're like, repeat after me, or like say, pray for us.
No. Instead of the prayers, instead of the prayers you do after, where you do the ones where you go, "Let us pray,"
Yeah, it's just a real long one.
but they do it in song, and then they go like, "For the Jews," right?
Oh, yeah.
That
yeah,
they will
that's right.
sometimes realize that
you have
they
to
shouldn't
sing
have
it.
killed our Christ.
Sometimes.
We pray
Yeah.
to the Lord, right? That one.
Yeah.
And then they go on the next one. For those that don't believe at all, and they sing about them.
Yeah.
And then they go. Then they start singing about government
Yeah,
for the
everyone.
for the government,
Yeah.
that they will realize that windmills were a bad idea.
Yeah.
We pray to the Lord,
Yeah.
right?
For high hydro costs and Kathleen Wynne, that she pulls her head out of her ass.
We pray to the Lord, right? It goes on
That's how it
forever,
goes.
man.
Kevin over there is like,
Do you ever
I know
go
exactly
Catholic?
what you're talking about because I'm French.
Yeah. No, I don't actually.
Were
No,
you raised?
I didn't really grow up to be Catholic or anything.
Oh, no?
They didn't bring
I
you to
kinda-
church as a
no,
kid?
I had a choice. If I wanted to, I wanted to. I went a couple times when I was curious, and then just bored.
Yeah, it didn't appeal to you.
Didn't appeal to me at the time.
So you should have got into the band and then you go every Sunday.
My friend in university, your friend too, Dave. He didn't have a faith at all. Like he was brought up with no religion, and then he went and chose one, and he ended up choosing the what's the one that's Salvation Army.
Oh, the Sally Ann.
Yeah, he chose the Church of the Salvation Army because he liked to play in the band. That's what it was. He liked the.
Oh, yeah.
I think he played tuba.
And then
And
you go
it
to
was
the
the only
flea,
church with a tuba.
you go to like the flea market sale and you get cheap records and stuff.
Hmm?
Salvation Army. They always got those cheap deals. Salvation Army.
It's true.
That's where you go. Did you go to those places?
I
Dave?
don't, but I have someone who does.
What do you mean? You
someone
have
in my
someone?
family, yeah. Someone in my family goes to those and looks for stuff for me.
I bought records tonight from the Salvation Army.
There you
in
go.
Brantford.
That's what I'm talking about. And if you go on the right
You
day,
and
they're
Steve are related?
the 50-cent records are 50% off. You get them for a quarter.
What?
True story.
At the Salvation Army, they sell
Yep.
records?
Oh yeah.
What kind of records you got?
You name it. You got to dig through them, find what you like, just like any swap or like any kind of.
Is that the only church with a flea market?
I think it might be
Is it? Is there
Yeah.
no other church that you can just go like buy an old like?
anything. Rollerblades. What do you need?
Lots of Alan Parsons project there
Oh yeah.
at the Salvation.
Yeah. They got triples and
They
quadruples.
if another church came in and they started having their like yard sale store or whatever, and Salvation Army would be like, hey, that's our fucking gig, man.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're known for. What are you next thing? You're gonna ring a bell at Christmas time, just to make
You're gonna put some guy in a uniform, some old guy,
yeah.
with a bell and a glass, like globe for you to put change in.
I gotta ask you, at Christmas time, this goes to, I'm thinking about Shaz over there walking around at Christmas time, thinking of his loved ones, thinking about all the things he's got to buy. and then he thinking how hard he works for his money, and then he looks at this old guy wearing some sort of uniform, right? He's wearing some sort of uniform.
Yeah, probably passed down from generation to generation.
What?
Like the uniforms, they don't make new uniforms every year. You just
You like go in the closet where they keep
grab
the
a uniform.
out of the church.
Fundraising time. Let's do it.
So the guy wears one of these old stinky
Find one
closet
that fits.
uniforms, right?
I think so.
And he goes out and he's got like his whole act. He wants Shaz's money. The guy works hard for his money, right? So he's trying to get his money at Christmas time to give it to his cause. Shaz walking in the grocery store. His whole act. This is an entertainer. Tyler Shazma. Pride of Otterville, Ontario, and Burgessville,
Just Burgess.
and Norwich. I call you. Was that the Tri-Cities?
Yeah, it's a tri-village. Tri-villes. It's the tri-villes.
The Tri-Villes of.
Tri-Villies.
We need to get an.
Narrage in the middle. Tri-villes around.
Would that be O, N, and B?
O and B.
Knob.
It's a knob.
It's the old knob.
You been to the
segment.
knob?
The try knob.
Just a little tri-knob in the middle of a bunch of cornfields.
Just rocking the tri-knob.
Yeah.
So, what was I talking
He
about?
wants Shaz's
Hey,
money.
wait a
Yeah, he wants Shaz's money.
Sure
This is
he
like this is an entertainer. He does it for a living.
No one's getting my money at Christmas because I'm just getting holy bowling and getting the hell home.
Holy
Oh, nice. I like.
That's a Dutch Hall reference.
Yeah.
Holy bowling.
Drink
I
it.
like it. Yes, it's nice. It's nice. Yes.
Gosh, little dough balls.
He put in some raisins.
You put a sprinkle on it, the chocolate sprinkle. It's so good.
Anyways, what I'm saying is, all the guy's got is a bell and a circle like a fishbowl
Some sort of-
hanging from chains. They got some like that's.
Yeah.
Is that the marvel? Is a fishbowl full of money hanging from chains, or is it the fact that you're wearing a bell, like, or you're playing a bell? Like, what's your talent, man? Fucking tell a joke or something. You know what I mean?
No, those guys are always smoking cigarettes too, and it's like a player's light, like real
yeah.
light.
Why would they? You know, I just don't get it. You guys should have an act. You know, you have
do
a good
something.
band in your
Dance monkey.
church. Play a tuba solo, man.
They usually got a tuba around somewhere.
Yeah, it's Salvation Army. Or go to the fucking flea market and get yourself a record player and a record. Play
all.
that. Do like a
Alan
Lip
Parsons
syncer.
project. Alan Parsons.
Dance hall.
project.
yeah, Alan Parsons project. Yeah, it's dance hall.
APP.
Yeah.
Just talk over an old.
In front of the APP.
I think you could do that though, eh? Like it should be a challenge, like an internet challenge. We should do that for the Dutch Hall. We'll do like an internet challenge where we have to take a record that we get from the Salvation Army, no matter what. Just pick the first one, take it home, and then we have to do a dance hall song over one of the tracks on that album, which is just like you just talk over like the Jamaican guys, boo, 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 like in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dance hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Nope. You just do that. It's a hit. It's a guaranteed hit. And it would be like a Dutch Hall fucking like virus or whatever they call it.
Holy bowling, yeah.
That'd be great. All like old Dutch rap. Skroopka. It's Dutch dance hall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Dutch
only
dance.
done by Jamaican
So-
dudes.
Yeah, so you've got to have. Well, the whole thing about dance hall is it's completely dance. It's all about the dancer.
Oh yeah.
The guy who's spitting in the background is just kind of winding up the crowd, and the dancer.
Oh, the dancers that
Yeah,
act.
that's the whole point. So
Well, how they
when
sell
they've got
records.
like, well,
Oh, so
It's
the
the
guys,
music.
the guy doing the music's going to the dance. They're not dancing to the music.
they could all be dancing.
Give us
but
a
lot of
sample right
dance
now.
hall
Give us
stuff,
a
that's
sample
that-
right now, Kev.
What? Dirty wine.
Yeah. Please go.
But then you got girls who are, doing all their dancing and stuff, and you got the chads who are judging those dances, and that's why they have dance hall competitions, and that's where that comes
Oh.
from.
Yeah. Now it's just like humping aggressively.
Pretty
isn't
much,
It? Yeah.
it looks like.
Yeah.
So you got to have some sort. What's the Dutch dance?
I don't know if we have it. It'd probably be some sort of a clog, right? Some sort of.
something in a square.
Yeah, we would do
It's
something
square
where we're
dance.
lifting heavy wooden shoes and we're dancing in a orderly fashion until we get to our pay.
Arm in arm. You know, like this stuff.
We show togethership, yeah. I don't know. We're not really known for our. You know what we're known for? Radar Love. That's what we're known for. Golden Earring. That's the Dutch band, right? Isn't it? Yep, it is. I'm confirming it right now. Golden Earring is Dutch.
All right.
They're the only Dutch band I can think of. Can you think of one?
No, I can't think of any.
Now let's
But
go.
there should be more because Dutch people are really into pot and mushrooms, right? Like,
Yeah, there's a guy named Paul Van Dyke who's a huge DJ. I think he's from Holland, but I don't know. Yeah, if you figure if you have Amsterdam, you're known for your pot and mushrooms.
it's not just Amsterdam. Those mushroom farms are all over Holland.
Really?
These guys just growing funguses in the ground like that are psychedelic because they do it in the ground. Those Dutch guys figured it out.
That's something I didn't do.
No,
when
they
I
don't
was
do it
in-
hydroponically. They have like real ground mushroom farms.
Oh yeah,
The real dirt.
Those Dutch guys know what's going on. I don't know. I've never been over there.
You haven't?
No. Have you?
When I was went to school in '95, I was in yeah, I was in England, so I went over twice. Once just to Amsterdam.
And what's
like-
to the fuck?
I want to go. I want to do it.
Oh man, well, yeah, we gotta. I would go back in a heartbeat again because I loved it there.
We should do a Dutch Hall trip.
Yeah.
We
Th-
should.
You know, you can do shows over there too, Shaz, because all of them. You can do shows in English and everybody understands.
But I gotta spell my name Scoffsma if I go.
Yeah,
Scoffsma.
yeah. Because then that would be the roll off the tongue for them. It's kind of the roll off the back
Like,
of
what
the
the
throat.
fuck is this Z doing here?
Yeah.
And I just added it there because it looked cool on a license plate when my uncle did it.
Did your uncle do it first?
I think so.
Oh yeah, and then it became like so.
I'm sure people have been doing it for years, right? Because it looks better on the back of sports jerseys and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Condensing it down, throwing a Z in the middle.
But did people call you that before?
Yeah, no, people called me that all through high school and like Shazzy and Shaz. That always was around. And then when I was doing stand-up, I was like 2 weeks in, and someone was like, "You gotta fucking change your name on open mics and shit." I was like, "All right, I can spell it this way," and it's just been that way since.
It is true because did you have 2 A's in it?
Yeah, there's like 2 A's, and there's another one on the end, so there's 3 A's. There's a couple F's and S and M.
Yeah, it just confuses people. Too many of the same things.
Shazma, it's like that.
Yeah, it's like the Shaq movie.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds.
Shazam.
Shazam, yeah.
It's good. It's got some bite.
Shazma.
Damn.
Hey Shaz, when we did that, me and Shaz did a gig last Friday in Dunville, and
Yeah, the gun fishing club in
Yeah.
Dunville.
Oh, the gun club.
Yeah, gun
Yeah,
club.
we
How'd
did
that
the gun
go?
club in
It's-
Dunville.
and Steve did it too.
Did you
Steve-
see any
Steve
guns?
came out with us, yeah. It
Did you
was-
see any guns when you
No
were in the gun
guns.
No,
club?
no guns.
No, the range was closed. The range was closed.
Well, thank God for you guys, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
it
when
was a fucking great show. There's 50, 60 people in there, and they were ready for a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Except
I
for
can see
one
that.
lady, one stone-faced lady in the back.
Did she leave?
No. She sat there the
stayed.
entire time. Didn't crack a smile once. Would clap 5 times for each comedian.
Was that like your goal to get her to laugh and like?
No,
was she like your target?
I
You
didn't
just-
look at her once.
Oh, no.
I thought about you know what the truth was? I said to the one comic, that lady hasn't smiled once. I think I'm gonna talk to her when I go up. And then the guy goes, I think she might be a stroke victim. So you should be careful, is what he said.
That face ain't moving for no one.
Yeah, so I was like, I think I will be careful and just not do
You're gonna
it.
need a couple of kite strings to move that face.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Are you having a good time? I can't be able to move in years. It would just be like a help me.
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. That's you thought of a stroke victim as being the same as like Pinocchio before he became a real boy.
With the strings.
With the strings attached.
I'm
a real
But Pinocchio had no strings attached and just got a hard on.
Did you see
Nose hard on.
Did you anyone see the video I
Face.
posted of the donkey getting a hard on behind the girl in the bikini?
You posted that today, didn't you?
Yeah. That was I just loved it. They said it to the music of Chris Isaacs. So when it went the donkey's dick was
Is that
going.
Instagram or where'd you put it?
Facebook.
I put it on Facebook.
Posts like that really break up my Facebook feed because a lot of mine is music, technology, donkey with a boner.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah, just to break up the day. That was what I thought too when I saw it. I'm like, that is a nice little treat. Just a donkey enjoying a human's female form.
There.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see animals with erections.
Yeah, you never feel when you watch Bestiality. I'm not saying you should do it. I don't condone it.
I think it's
But-
illegal.
But when you're doing it, like on after Lent's over, and you're just watching some bestiality, you would when you watch a female animal become penetrated, you would think, I feel sorry for the female animal because it seems against her will, you know. But when you see the male like banging a female, you're just thinking like that guy's enjoying it, right?
That's right.
Like if I know this guy who watched a porno one time where a pig was was having sex with a girl, and the pig's dick was like curly like his tail, you know?
No.
Yeah.
I've seen a pig's dick. It's
Look it
not
up.
curly.
Look it up on your phone. Someone look up pig's
that was,
dick.
That was some animation, like CGI.
No, come
Hey,
on.
Shaz
dick.
is calling bullshit on
I'm
you.
calling bullshit on
hey,
that.
Shaz has seen a pig's dick, okay?
I've seen a pig's dick.
Do it, Dave. Can you look up pig's dick for it?
There's
not a
no
company
way they're
phone, is
curly.
it?
But
It's not going on my phone.
bestiality porn.
Yeah, but when you would see but you see the pig was having sex. He looked like he was having a good time, or like a dog or whatever licking a pussy. You know, that dog looks like he's having the time of his life, right? But
Wait. You just said a dog licking a pussy so casually, like as casual as I've ever heard it, and I've heard it a few times. The first like bestiality like dog fucking porn that I ever saw, and it was strictly for research, like because you want to know what's up when you're like 21 and you got the internet, right?
And a dog at home.
And my buddy Brandon McIntosh, who's been on your show,
yeah.
he's a filth bag.
Really?
Oh, he's so filthy.
The right hand?
He never mentions this filthiness.
I
when he's on the
tarnish
show.
his name every chance I get. But he found this one, and it was like these old middle-aged ladies that had an afternoon alone with their golden retriever, just happened to nuzzle his head in their crotch, and like, oh, I felt it was like a documentary. Like they sat down and told how the experience happened that got them to allowing their golden retriever to lap up their fucking labia.
Really? It was like a confession of it? Of
Yeah,
like how
like
it
how
was
it-
like, well, it's like Dear Penthouse letters or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I usually don't write in about this, but I had an extra jar of
When
peanut
old
butter.
Sparky lays his head on my lap. It's
Well-
just like
But honestly, I have to ask all the guys in this room this question, you know? Before we get to the segment we call feedback, we got feedback. Let's say that accidentally you fell backwards into a jar of peanut butter, right?
it happens.
Dave and Steve, you both have dogs. That would probably be game for this.
My dog loves
My
peanut
dog
butter.
loves peanut butter.
Oh, it's like the best thing ever.
I can't open the jar.
Actually, when you open the door, the peanut butter's in. She goes and sits on her mat and looks at you.
Right. So you fell backwards. You got out of the bath. You fell backwards. One of the kids left peanut butter in the bathroom or something. Boom. You fall into peanut butter. The dog comes over, licks your ass. You have the best orgasm of your life. You can't even believe it. There's just jizz flowing out like white ropes. You can't stop yourself. And you're like, my God. You know, it's like the best thing you've ever had, right? And now you're like, you tell me you're not going to think about that jar of peanut butter again. It was a happy accident.
Everything up to that point is accidental, and I
Yeah.
have no control over
Totally
it.
like Keystone Cops, like one of those, everything's falling, like a comedy of errors, fall into the peanut butter. You bend over, the dog comes in the bathroom, licks your ass, you fucking cum ropes.
I don't even have a chance to get out of the situation. It just happens.
Hey,
No,
you
you-
can't run from a feeling, all right? But you can prevent a feeling from ever happening again.
And she was aggressive though. Like it was one of those things you're like, oh my God, I'm trapped. The dog's just licking aggressively. You go, goodness. I plugged up the vent. And then you know what I mean. So you're saying you'd probably be looking at that dog different too. You probably couldn't look it in the eye for a bit.
I'd probably feign some
Jervis.
sort of peanut allergy for the rest of my life. No peanut butter allowed in the house ever.
Because
For the rest of my life.
A dog, that's
allergic.
man's best friend. He doesn't know that he's causing
She.
you sexual.
She doesn't
She
know.
doesn't know. She doesn't know that she's causing you any sort of arousal. She
That's
doesn't
right.
know that.
No.
So leave her out of this.
You know, and no one's really hurt in that process. That dog enjoyed the peanut butter. You enjoyed your shit. You know, that's the thing about a dog. A dog would do that for you. A cat wouldn't fucking do that for you. A cat's not gonna lick your ass. A cat will eat your face when you're sleeping, right? But it ain't gonna lick your ass. I don't care what you put on it. A cat would be like, "Fuck you, lick my ass," right? That's the way a cat is. That's why I respect cats.
I fucking hate cats.
Yeah, you want to go fuck yourself right now? You talking about Larry that way? I actually don't like other people's cats, but Larry is a great cat. Well, you don't like it because it's gonna kill your wife because of her allergies? Is that what it is?
No, I just don't like cats.
What?
They just seem like useless animals to me. They don't provide you any like joy. They do what the fuck they want. My dog, when I come home from work, my kids used to greet me at the door. But they don't anymore. But my dog, no matter what happens, when the garage door opens, I can hear her from the van barking at the door. She knows I'm home. And she will run circles in front of me until I pet her. And then when you pet her, it's like all your worries just melt away.
You know what, Dave? You know who else that your dog does that for? Everybody.
Every
single person that shows up at the house.
That's so true.
And
Yeah.
you're not special to that dog at all. You're just another person to do something with. And the cat and that stupid dog forgets. Or you know what my cat does? When my cat comes on my lap,
Your cat comes on your lap.
yeah. Well, when I smother it with peanut butter and the
Do you ever
cat,
come on your cat's lap?
no. But when my cat will jump on my lap when I'm just sitting on the couch, you know, and he's just sitting there because he likes me. That's because he likes me. He won't do that for anyone else. When someone else comes in my house, he hides in the basement because he's like, "Fuck this guy," right? I like that. I appreciate that. I relate to that. I don't relate to a dog that's all happy and like, look at me, I'm here. I'm like, you needy fuck. Just take care of yourself. Like, live your own life. You know what I mean? Go
Yeah,
outside
but
and kill a
dog-
rabbit. You know what my
Dog
cat
will
does?
take care of himself. He'd just rather do it with you, man.
Yeah.
The
My
dog's
dog loves everyone,
great.
you're right,
I
but my
love
dog
my
loves me more than everyone.
Yeah.
If the dog has a choice to make,
Yeah,
the dog
yeah.
will choose me every time.
That is true. That is true about a dog, and I do love that about a dog. And I'm not a dog hater. Don't get me wrong. I just respect a cat, and I do like the fact that you can take a cat, you can put it outside, it can fuck up any animal in the neighborhood, right? Your cat can, except other people's cats, they get pissed off about that. But if your cat goes out and just fucks up chipmunk, squirrel, rabbit, like baby rabbits or whatever he's killing, right? You can just sit there, sip a cup of coffee, look out your window, and watch him murder things, and that's cool. But if you have a dog, like a big dog especially, and it's running around Burford, eating, murdering like rabbits and stuff, people are gonna be like, "This dog's crazy. We don't want to watch that, right?" But a cat does it all the time.
They'll put a dog down for that, but they won't put a cat down.
No.
Have you ever seen anyone put a cat down?
You know how many dead animals are brought to my door by my cat, like all the time, and I'm always like, "Thank you, Larry. Thank you. I appreciate the effort." I don't personally like dead moles or birds or whatever you're bringing me, but thank you. I appreciate the effort because he loves me. Larry loves me.
He's doing it for you.
But you, Shazma, you are unapologetic online of your love for your dog,
Oh, it's
right?
Yeah, no, he's my best friend. I love that dog so much. Like, people say dogs are man's best friend. That's what they say, right?
Right. You've tried other animals, right?
Yeah, I got a lizard. That's not a best friend. That's just like a painting you gotta feed. Piece of furniture you gotta give water to every once in a while.
Yeah, you don't exactly get much back from a lizard, do you?
No, they're just staring at you all the time.
Yeah, you can be lying there on your back in your living room, peanut butter spread all over your ass and balls.
Lizard doesn't give a fuck. It's in a glass. It's like in a giant Cheese Whiz jar, and it just wants to get out. If you open the door, it just wants to get out. But then it's fucking cold when it gets out. All it's gonna do is go into a fucking furnace vent and die. But it doesn't want to be in the fucking jar that I provide it for, and I give it crickets every 2 weeks. It's worthless. Like, I should have just got a pet rock, you know?
Yeah.
Same damn thing, just staring at you with those cold dead eyes while you
It's probably
masturbate.
plotting your demise the whole time. Like, I can't wait to get out of this.
Yeah.
It just slash his throat.
It just stares at you. But I got it, and the thing's going to live for like 25 years, and I just got to deal with it.
Do they live that long too?
Oh, yeah, they're fucking reptiles, man. That's all reptiles do is live. That's all I want to do.
You're like married to this fucking like boring piece of
Yeah.
shit that you
Oh,
gotta buy
I-
crickets for.
There's
Every...
some cool videos on the web of people like really training like little geckos and shit.
That's what
and
I got, a
crawling around their
gecko, yeah.
hands and
Yeah, I don't touch the thing.
smiling.
I'm terrified of it. I don't touch it. I just open it, give it crickets, and I shut it. It's got its own.
You still
room.
have it?
Yeah, I've had it for fucking 4.5, 5, 6 years. Like it's moved around with me all over Toronto. It was in Otterville. I left it with my old man for like a year and a half, and he just watched it and gave it crickets every 2 weeks. And then he was like, "You gotta get that thing out of there." So I got it again, and now it's like I gave it its own room in my house. It's got a red light, and I just go in there and I give it crickets every 2 weeks, and it's stupid.
Just picture a
It
white
just-
room.
How
with
big
a
is it?
tank right
It's
in the
like
middle.
it's like fucking 8.5 inches long. It's
Oh,
got a
yeah.
big fat tail on it. Comes out, eats crickets, goes back to sleep. Like that's all
Paul's
it
got
does.
one. Paul's got some sort of lizard too,
Yeah.
right?
That's all it
Reptiles
does.
are kind of fucked.
He's got his is some sort of dragon, like a Chinese dragon or
Yeah,
something.
mine's a leopard gecko. And then I looked it up online. I was like, I'm gonna learn when I first got it, I'm like, I'm gonna learn everything about this fucking lizard, right? Because I got it, I might as well fucking learn about it. And then I look it up online, and it's not even like a rare breed or anything. It's some asshole in Mississauga just inbred a bunch of albino leopard geckos and made these bubblegum leopard geckos that are all pink and gold and they look cool. But there's fucking inbred bastards and nobody on the internet wants them. Like, they're just stupid. They're like, yeah, they'll probably get some skeleton disease and die earlier, so maybe it'll die in 8 years instead of fucking 20.
Yeah, it's nice when you're looking for. Do you have any lizards with a cough? You know,
Yeah.
one that's been sniffling.
Well,
I don't have a commitment for
yeah,
this
and
thing.
it's missing all its toes too, because I got it when I was little and it didn't shed properly, and its toes fell off. It's all beat up like me. It's good. It is therapy. I used to, when I was going through a rough time, I used to come home and just talk to my lizard at night. Because it's a
Is that a euphemism?
it's a pair of eyes to talk to. You know, you just need a pair of eyes, but a painting would suffice.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
But it is nicer when it's alive, you know. And I like just the nature aspect of it, but I don't like. I like more like letting it free, like the fact that a cat will come in, murder something, mercilessly like a real animal should, and then just come in your house and just drink some water and watch TV with you.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be there either. The cat would rather run, like all animals.
No, he would
rather
rather be. He would. If he would rather be somewhere else, he would just go somewhere else.
maybe.
Because I let him go every time. I open the door for him fucking ever. I wake up in the middle of the night to get out of bed to let him go outside. Like an idiot, I do that.
Yeah, but my dog
There's
is like
nothing
my
tying
best
him down
friend.
except
like,
you.
Cat's not your best friend. Cat's gonna eat your shit and fucking.
No,
wreck
my
your
cat is
shit.
my best friend, but when I'm dead, like when you're dead, a dog will lie beside your corpse
I hope so.
and wait for help, you know, and or do something. But a cat would just sit there, and when he was hungry, he would start eating your face.
Oh yeah, Just
That's real.
probably your eyes first.
Yeah, he would, or maybe your asshole. I know a lot of animals eat the asshole first. I've seen him do it to like squirrels and stuff. He'll kill them, and then he'll just eat their assholes first, and then just leave them there. Like they eat their guts, right? Eat them the guts. Yeah, it's a merciless killer. I can't believe this thing lives in my house. He's a merciless killer. I like him. That's what I mean. I respect him. I respect what he does. He's bloodthirsty and vicious, but then he still has got a soft side for the family. You know, he won't kill my kids or anything. He would like to.
That's soft side.
He's got a soft side. That's what I mean. I like him. Larry's a good guy. So let's get to a segment of our show that we call Feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback. Motherfucking feedback.
Motherfucking.
If you're new to this show, every week we ask our listeners for feedback so we can tell if we're doing a good job or not, and so we can try to make this show better. And you know what? It's worked. It really has. Our listeners have stepped up. Look at this week we've been so spoiled by our listeners as well. But a lot of people were really impressed last week with our episode, Aaron Allen. But I got to tell you, we got to do our commercials. I forgot it.
Sure.
This week's feedback is brought to you by our friends at Amazon. go to our website, livefromthedutchhall.com, click on our Amazon banner. And if you have ad blockers, shut them off. And then those things will come on. And then you click on it. Then you do your Amazon shop, and you get all your stuff.
It's easy.
Yeah, what do you get? Easter eggs or whatever the Easter Bunny brings.
You want a crucifix?
You can probably get it on Amazon. Just get it. You get Amazon Prime. Then they'll deliver it to you. And some of that money is going to come back and help the show. And then we use that money. We buy shit. And then the show gets better. That's how it works.
That's right.
And then also, you know what? Our primary sponsor, Clean Flow.
Oh, Clean Flow.
Clean Flow, they put Dave on...
Great lubricants.
Great lubricants. Now, Dave, 2 weeks in a row, you have not been on this show.
Yeah, I missed it.
Missed it. Any excuses? What are your excuses? Week 1 and week 2.
Week 1 was March break, and I was just hanging out with the kids, mostly, doing some fun kid stuff, family stuff.
What kind of thing?
I don't know. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but on a Thursday night, you're doing things all week with them. Thursday night, you couldn't come. You must have been doing something with Clean Flow product or something.
Thursday, we had no Clean Flow products Thursday. I think we went to the movies.
And there's no
Thursday
use.
night.
You see, I'm leading you into your...
Black Panther. It was great.
How about the week after that?
Last week, we went and saw a nice motivational speaker.
Really?
Yeah. We needed some motivation in our,
Where was
in our
it?
household. It was at our kids' school in Burford, Blessed
Oh,
Sacrament.
so you didn't have to drive far.
No.
But you did drive.
We drove there, yep.
Yeah.
We drove there. We listened to
Use
the
any
motivational
Clean
speaker.
Flow products?
Well, just to lubricate my engine. Other than that,
Nothing.
no. Just the engine lubricants.
Yeah. Clean Flow, that's your ad maker right there. I let him into it. Gave him 2 fucking opportunities to promote your product. This is the best he comes up with. Sorry about the F word. I'm supposed to be CRTC. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Clean Flow's the best. Dave is not.
Bar none.
That should be Clean Flow's new slogan is Clean Flow's the best.
Bar none.
Dave is not. Right? Bar none. Twice. And then who else do we have sponsoring this show? Well, we got Van Dyke Party Services.
Sure.
And you know what it is? Easter.
Brought to you by Clean Flow.
They are also brought to you by Clean Flow. You know what you do? If you go on Easter weekend, maybe you want to have a nice Easter dinner with your family. You don't come home every weekend, but this is a big one. You come home for Easter. You maybe visit. Could do an Easter egg hunt with the grandkids or whatever, what have you.
Maybe reenact the Passion.
Yeah. Is that what you guys do for fun, Charters? But I'll tell you, those are boring events.
Bring the whiskey bottle too, Shaz.
Those are boring events. You want to have a fun Easter? Give us an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com. And what we're going to do is we're going to send you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke cousins in bright yellow jackets. And all it's going to cost you is $100 of cold hard cash.
One hundo.
Plus all of our expenses, which will be dear. But you're going to have the time of your life. And if you're not 100% satisfied, we're going to give you back that $100. But those expenses have run through our bodies and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services.
Don't live your life in regret.
Brought to you by Clean Flow. And the last sponsor we need to mention is, second last, Norpac.
The beef people.
People, that was
Right
my
on it.
job. I'm doing all my jobs. I just gave everyone a
The
beer.
tickler. Look at this, eh? Shazma stepping up, bartender,
Oh, yeah.
director, guest.
Amazing.
Okay,
right?
do it again. Do the Norpac thing.
What? No, I say
Yeah,
Norpac.
you say it.
I said Norpac.
The beef people.
You both missed the last one. Now, if it was Simon Says, you'd both be out. Because when I say you say Norpac,
The beef people.
then I say Norpac.
The beef people.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it, Shaz. And Yarmy Electric. Oh my goodness, this is a holiday weekend. My cousin Derek, he's a staunch Catholic too. You know what this guy does? He marries the woman he loves. He works hard. He volunteers for the community. He has unprotected sex because he's a Catholic.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. And guess where you finish when you're a good Catholic? Deep inside your wife's loins. And that's what he does, and that's why he has lots of kids. And so, as a result of this, he doesn't want you to fucking call him with your electrical problems because he's goddamn busy. So maybe for Easter, what you do is you let your house burn down, you leave my cousin Derek alone.
Get
Hear
the
me
guy.
electric. If we don't get right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. And if we don't get right the second time,
You can go fuck yourself.
You can go fuck yourself.
Everyone looks around the room. Who's gonna take it?
I was
Oh,
taking
man.
a sip of my beer, but go fuck yourself. You aren't me electric if you don't like it.
all right. So now we're ready to get into the feedback. This one came via Gmail, live from the Dutch Hall at gmail.com from another shareholder of the show and super fan. I believe he's a super fan.
Oh, for sure.
Bruce Veltry. It says, Pete and crew, the Aaron Allen episode was fantastic from start to finish. Oh, that's a glowing review. I should just stop reading that.
I
right?
agree.
Thanks for introducing me to this fantastic artist. I like how the recording ran after the last song ended, hearing everyone say, wow, that was an ending, because I was saying the same thing. By the way, the YouTube feed ran for like 2.5 hours.
Great.
And my dad calls me the next day, Willie, and he says, hey, Pete, your YouTube feed, I was watching that YouTube feed.
Hi, Willie.
And he goes, he says, I was watching that YouTube feed, and just so you know, it ends with you doing something you maybe don't want on the internet.
Oh,
And I go, really? And he goes, yeah. I go, you watched 2.5 hours of nothing to get to me doing something bad that should be on the, like, who the fuck would see that? It was at the very end. I knew.
what was it? What'd you do?
What I do? I was just what I was doing was something that I prefer. I like to call it arts and crafts time. It was arts and crafts. I was just making myself. I like to make my own. I'm an artisan, so I like to take various things I grow and I like to make it
Make
into different things.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyways, so my dad said, "Don't do it. You should get it off the internet, right?" Because and I'm like, Jesus, yeah, that is like I have all the people that would see it. I was like, that would be a nice bonus, because someone can get like a thing. It's only gonna be up there for a day. You'll see like the behind the scenes thing or whatever. Most of it you couldn't hear anyway. But I did end with a real doozy, and so I took it off. Anyways, so thank you to Willie too for that. P.S. Another great show. Keep up the good work. And if you're wondering, you were wondering on the show who is listening, I'm listening, and I'm enjoying my time at the Dutch Hall every week. That's nice,
we
eh,
gotta
Bruce?
get him into the hall.
Hey, thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce is a.
Way to go, Bruce.
We have no super fan here today, unless you count Shaz. He's wearing all the hats tonight. Shaz is super fan,
I
guest,
can't
bartender.
be a super fan.
Yeah,
I
gotcha.
have been listening lately too. I
Well,
listen.
all,
That makes you a super fan.
Aaron
Ha-
Allen's
have you give-
episode was good. Yeah.
you gave us a gift one time.
What did I give you?
No, I'm just asking because that makes you a super fan. If you give us,
Yeah.
you had to give us
I
a
haven't
gift.
given you anything except for like
No, he might have
shitty
given.
entertainment.
No. I'm thinking all the years Shaz would have come with something one
Didn't
time.
you bring a cake that one time?
No, that was Manny Facho.
No, I didn't. I've never brought you anything.
Sandwich? No,
Blue
you wanted
dream.
me to get you a
I
sandwich.
wanted you to get me a sandwich.
Shaz is a real diva now. In retrospect, he's a taker, Shaz.
No, I've brought.
Fuck you,
I've,
Shaz. You're no super fan. I'll tell you that. No,
I
I'm just
brought
kidding.
beers the first time I came.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
There
bring
you go.
beer because
There you go.
I felt obligated. Now I just come and drink your beer.
Yeah, that's right. So you're a super fan. I'll
Like
take that
everyone
as a gift.
else.
I'll take that as a gift. I like beer. And okay, what's the next one? This next one came from Facebook. Yeah, live from the Dutch Hall on Facebook. It says, it says, hi, Pete. I have some feedback for you. This time it's on a more serious note. Dot.
Uh-oh.
You need to be commended for your continuous comments on how you are always trying to please your wife. I like how you say, thank you. Thank you, Shaz.
2 claps.
Well deserved. 2 claps. I like how you say you still try to put moves on her. Now let me just start right in here. I don't try to put moves on anybody. I put the fucking moves on her.
Mm-hmm.
She can't question the moves when I put them on. Now, they do not work very often. Sad. Charters, you ever put moves on your wife?
Once in a while.
Steve?
Once in a while.
Of course.
What do you mean? So, okay, I'll take that. Kevin, you're in a relationship? Single. Shaz, you're in a relationship?
I'm always putting the moves on.
Now,
The move doesn't stop. I'm moving.
Shaz moving all the time. No, you're in a monog. I'm not going to go that way with you.
No, it's monogamous.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to assume, but it is nice. This is a big deal. I didn't know Shaz has gone this far.
At least I think it is.
And you, but you're really fond of the girl you're with.
Yeah, sure.
And so, like, since you become committed to this woman, do you do less moves?
To her, no, I'm always doing moves. You gotta, yeah.
It doesn't change.
But now the moves are like
when you
doing
first
the
met her, you were
dishes.
making a move on a girl you've never been with. That's a
Yeah, but the moves just change, you know. Now the move's just doing the dishes. That's a move. There's different. Your moves just change.
Is that you? Yeah. What I would say is, yeah, it's true. One time I remember, man, I had a really nice night because I built a shoe rack, you know, for my in my wife's closet. Oh,
Shoe
goodness.
IKEA.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can move some furniture, there's a move, you know.
That's-
Hey, move this dresser over to this side of the house.
Yeah, I tried a whole bunch of my old like standby moves this week. Janet, I hope you don't mind me talking out of school here. I'll tell the general public that this week I tried some moves. Mostly I tried bum rubbing when we're lying in bed. That was no avail. And then I tried snuggle by the kitchen counter. You know, you just rub your dick into them. You know, did that move. What else did I try
No
this
dice.
week? No dice with that one. Tonight, you know what I tried? Clean the kitchen.
That's a good one.
Yeah, clean the
Yeah,
kitchen.
that is a good one.
The kitchen's a good one.
She pipes up. I didn't know she wanted to let everyone know she
She's
was
off
here.
camera, but yeah.
Yeah, you did clean the kitchen tonight. So I'm looking for maybe at least a hand job for that one. I don't know. What do you get for that?
You rev up that. You rev up that vacuum. Yeah.
Oh. Really, what is it like? It's not cleaning day. I'm just doing it because I want to keep a tidy house. Because I want my angel to have a place to go.
That's right. It's a step ahead.
Yeah. By the way, you know where Michael is tonight?
Oh, yes, I do.
I was gonna ask.
You want me to tell you where Michael is tonight?
Yeah. Why don't you tell us?
It's Sweet Kelly's birthday. Did you know that? Sweet Kelly.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and we should say that because she's also. I'm sure they're not listening right now.
Happy
bet not.
birthday, dear Kelly.
Probably watching WWE in his underpants, as you said he was the other night when we slid by for the guitar.
Yeah, I tried to get a guitar from him. He's just in his underpants, watched a little WWE. No big deal. Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just an old match from the past.
Yeah.
That's probably how he
Out
spent
of the
his
archives.
wife's birthday, right?
Yeah.
It's a classic.
So I'm just going to tell you here. This is why Michael's not here tonight. Because it is his fiance's birthday. And
That's a fancy word, eh?
if you're the type of person that would lie around in your underpants watching an old WWE match,
On a Friday night.
right, in your, let's say, mid-30s, right? Maybe not follically as glorious as you once were in your younger days, right? Maybe not quite with the step you had when you were once younger, and you got this young woman having a birthday that you had a long time ago, right? Who's agreed to marry you, and she's a stone cold fox. You got to do everything you can to hang on to this woman, and that means don't go to the Dutch Hall. Right now, what you're doing on her birthday is servicing her every need. Michael, if you've learned anything from this program, you service her every need. Sweet Kelly needs to know that today is her day. It's her birthday. That's where Michael is right now. Michael is doing his job. And I would suggest that is whatever is needed. Whatever would tickle Kelly's fancy. And I have my own ideas in my head what would tickle her fancy. But I don't want to say that because her brothers listen to the show.
That's right.
And I want to be disrespectful about that. But I do think of it.
But it's too bad for Mike because he's missed something awesome tonight.
Oh, the cheese tray?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cheese tray has been fantastic. But I got to finish Laura Collins' feedback here.
Oh.
So she says, so do all the men out there. Listen to Pete and his great marital advice. Pete knows how to keep his wife satisfied. No, I don't know how she knows that. I only tell people what happens. Most of my time, my wife, when I finish with her, she's kind of like, It was okay.
She's like, can you leave the room for a bit so I can finish this off?
I'm like, I'm already asleep, honey. You just woke me up to tell me that. Why don't you just shut up? No, I'm just, I would never do that. I would never do that. I'm sorry. What did I say here? No wonder Jane supports Pete in all he does. Now, this is great. Because P.S., another serious comment. I wish Paul was here for this. Tell Paul to stop hiding from the camera. We need to see more of his slits, which is referring to his beautiful eyes. And the girls like to look into his slits and see it.
Slits.
Look at Shaz's slit.
Shazma does not have slits.
What a great producer. Director? I'm not sure what it is.
Now, Paul likes to create a persona of a mystery now. Since he's become the director, he doesn't like to be on camera. Paul likes to be like a little bit off so that people aren't looking at him the whole time. He likes to be in the darkness. Yeah. And he feels it creates this air of a mystery.
And it's easier on his eyes. His eyes get tired when they're in the light.
I think that's what it is more than anything else. Can you please shut those fucking lights off? Anyways, Superfan Laura Collins was the one that provided that feedback. And you know how most people sign off with their feedbacks? By saying, fuck Chargers?
Yeah.
Well, Laura didn't do that, Dave.
Well, of course not.
She said C-U-N-T.
Aw.
Hey. And we have one more. Ella
Laura.
Steppa Jones. I know Dave.
Ella Steppa.
Yes. Dave will not recognize Jones. He is not appreciative
Steppa.
of Jones.
That's what it says in my yearbook, Ella Steppa, when I look at her picture.
She says, yes, loved your guest, Aaron Allen. Had to listen to Judgment Day again. It was that good.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks,
Aaron Allen
Ella.
was a big
Great
hit.
song.
Thanks,
Great
Ella.
Aaron Allen's a big hit. People love him. And I got to say, just because of the C-U-N-T sign off, I'm going to give Laura Collins Listener of the Week.
You're the listener of the week. This is your week.
Which is really bullshit considering...
Week.
It's your week. You know, this is bullshit that I gave her that title, considering the cheese lady.
Oh.
But we have to find out what she's up to this week. What's up with the cheese lady?
1, 2, 3.
Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always having fun. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, checking out my bum.
You know, it's come to be a tradition on the show where a listener, a super fan and shareholder of the show, Teresa Weibo from the Second Mouse in Delhi, has given us feedback.
You should slide that tray over here, Steve.
Yeah, put that
She's
on
giving it to-
camera there. Let's
She's given it to us on
Look at this
just
thing.
forward, move
Podbean.
it forward a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, get right in there, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this thing.
Look at that. Oh. She says, this is what she said this week. She said, March 29th, I'm bringing you a cheese and salami tray. So tell the lovely Miss Jane I have her back. Sit back and relax. LOL. And that's why I clean the kitchen, Jane.
Thank you, Teresa.
Because if Teresa's going to go through the trouble of doing the meat tray for you, I thought I'll clean the kitchen because that's what you're doing too. And you can just come out here, have a couple drinks. You don't have to work tomorrow. It's Good Friday. And thank you to Teresa at the Second Mouse for doing this for us. I'll tell you, this is like sponsor territory. Look at Dave eating cheese. He loves cheese. He's loving cheese. You know, there's nothing that's gonna make Dave happier other than his dog and a jar of peanut butter than a nice
Get some cheese there.
a nice tray of
Oh,
cheese.
Shazma went for the smoked applewood. That's my favorite.
You know what I like is a nice gherkin in the middle. That gherkin is not to be underrated. You know, I go with the sweet pickle every week, but when I get a gherkin, I'm like, oh man, I love a gherkin.
So good.
Anyways, that's
Thanks,
it.
Teresa.
That's it.
Thank you.
That is it for this week for feedback. We got feedback. If you'd like to, give us you can give us feedback in many ways. Go to livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, or you can like us on Facebook at livefromthedutchhall.com. follow us on Twitter or Instagram. We're at Dutch Hall. And also we're on LinkedIn and all that bullshit, but I don't care.
Or you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Or you know what else people do sometimes? They just stop me and tell me what they think of the show that they saw.
Oh, that's good feedback.
I like that. I like that the best. Because especially if they're like, if it's not, like I like mean, honest stuff better than nice stuff, you know? Because you can't, what can you do with, oh, I love it, it's great.
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
it's awesome. Like I really truly love our listeners. Like I'm a fan of other people's programs, and when they say they love their listeners, I'm always like, yeah, I get it, you know. But you don't love me, right? Right? I'm listening, but you don't love me. You know, you're saying it, but you don't mean it. But I'm like, I seriously like, I've met people that I don't like, and then I find out they like the show, and now I love them. Like I didn't even like them before.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Just because they like my shit.
No, it makes sense.
It's like a girl. It's like you wouldn't a girl that you wouldn't like consider like sleeping with, and then she comes up to you and she's like, she thinks you're attractive.
That's awesome.
Right? She thinks you're attractive. Then you would want to bang
Yeah,
that
all of a
girl
sudden,
more.
oh,
All
you're
of a sudden, she
hotter.
looks hotter.
Yeah, you're
yeah.
way hotter to me now that you
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah, right? Like you can see a
Oh,
girl,
for
you don't
sure.
even notice her, and all of a sudden you can see her. Then she makes it clear that she thinks you're hot, and then all of a sudden she's super hot, right?
Sure. For sure.
Like if a girl, like, and
She becomes the hottest girl in the room.
so don't you think that works for them? That's what I told my brother when he was like a teenager. I was like, I figured this out. And I thought it would work with girls, you know. If it works with us, it'll work with them. And I told him, like, just tell them if you think they're hot, just tell them that they're hot, right? And so my brother ended up getting laid a lot.
And you never took that advice yourself.
No, I already had a girlfriend. And my wife.
It's so funny to think of Paul getting laid a lot too, right? Like you were telling me some stories on the way to London the other night.
He has the Brobot Musk, man.
I don't see it. He's asleep half the time.
Yeah,
It's just natural.
yeah, that's where he is today. Paul's not here. Why? Because he just doesn't want to come. Yeah, no, he's got a sore back. He says.
So we're back from banging all those strippers.
Yeah, that must have been what it is. He doesn't like us telling this stuff about him, but he's like, but Paul was a Lothario back in the day. That I can say. He was. I don't know anything about no strippers, but I know he was a real Lothario. Is that the right word, Dave?
I've never heard that word before.
Lothario?
Is a real.
Do you mind looking it up to see if I'm right?
Cocksmith.
A coxman?
Yeah, a real velvet house coat of a man.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the role I'd like to be.
You know what I like about every girl in my life that I've ever I have to watch Shaz on my screen here because there's a screen in front of his real face.
Lothario's a man who behaves selfishly and irresponsibly in his sexual relationships with women.
Oh, perfect.
That'll work.
That was even better than
Sounds
what I
right.
thought it meant. Something-
Selfish and irresponsible
Yeah.
in your relationship with women. Sexual relationship,
Yeah.
specifically.
Specifically. That's perfect. Yeah, that's what he was. And but I think it has a lot to do with my advice because I had like figured it out too late. Like I had already figured it out when I had found my wife. But I was like, geez, if I would only have told when you like, I got a yearbook in here somewhere. You read your old yearbook, what girls wrote in your yearbook, and you're like, holy fuck, they want to bang me. I had no idea. But I read it when I was in my 40s, and I realize it now. Shaz, did you girls write in your yearbook?
No, I protested the yearbook.
What do you mean?
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't like memories.
Shaz was anti-memories.
I'm still anti-memories. Yeah. We used to go to parties in college, right? And so did I tell this story on here before?
I don't know. Tell it again.
One time, Brandon McIntosh stole
The right hand.
Yeah, he stole a lady's photo, right? Like from her party, like off the fridge.
Oh yeah.
And like it was her and her dog and like her family, right? Just stealing memories,
Like
right?
a Polaroid.
Just stealing memories. That's
Yeah.
what we used to do. Go to house parties and steal
And then put it up in his place.
memories. And then yeah, we hung it on. We had a wall of random, where we would just hang stuff on it, right? So he steals this photo all drunk one night off this lady's fridge of her and her dog and her brothers and sisters or whatever, and he hangs it on our wall. And I kid you not, like 3 months later, and my bedroom backed off to the wall of random, you know, right? So
Yeah.
it was on the other side of my bedroom. I'm laying in bed, and he brings a girl home one night, and she looks at the wall of random and goes, "Why do you have a picture of me and my dog on your wall?" He ended up bringing the chick home like 3 weeks later. We had her memories on our wall.
You can't recover from that. You just have to part ways. Eh?
Yeah, no
Yes,
shit.
here's your picture back, and let's just pretend this never happened.
Yeah, so you gotta steal people's memories.
Please don't look at my closet.
But no one wrote in my yearbook. I don't know.
Why really?
I think I couldn't afford it in the first couple years of school, and I might have got the last couple years, but no one wrote in it. You know, it was probably like most likely to be a, serial killer.
Yep. Really?
No, probably comedian.
When you were, what were you most likely to be in school? I was most likely to be forgotten to be in the yearbook.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I wasn't in the yearbook for anything special, that's for sure.
No, I was in with my picture that was like your class, like when you had to go through the classes and the school picture. I had that one, and then that was it. In 4 fucking years of that school.
Yeah.
And I even said I went back for the 5th year.
Volleyball team. You were on the volleyball team.
I was not on the volleyball team.
You weren't?
No.
Badminton?
I was on the badminton team.
I only partook in in 2 sports.
You weren't on the volleyball team?
No, it was you and Cott. And no, I wasn't. I did. First year I did basketball, and I got cut. And then second year I did football, and I had to go work in harvest. And then third year I did rugby, and I had to go work in planting, so I had to quit. And then that was it. Oh, track! I did track in grade 10, and I won high jump.
Yeah.
It's a fucking highlight of my life.
Flosberry flop. Look
Yeah,
out.
Flosberry flop. I went against all those fucking douchey jocks that were on the basketball team, and I was just a farm kid that was really good at high jump because my dad built me a high jump kit, like with mattresses from the bunkhouse.
Into the straw.
Yeah, like an old bamboo. Like we got the bamboo rods
yeah.
from the grade school, and,
Yeah.
and we built it with just nails for different heights and stuff like that. And I would just go do the old couple hours of Flosberry flopping before bed.
I wasn't into high school sports. Like I listened to punk rock and played badminton. That was the only one I did. Played badminton. I did all
That's
right
still
at
really-
badminton, though. I think I went to one of the like big like ASA or WASA, one of the big ones in badminton. But it was more just or less to like be on the team. I wasn't very good.
I never played in a
I
real.
got most improved, I think.
I never played in a real game of anything in high school.
Didn't you ride BMX though, Shaz?
Yeah, I rode BMX and smashed all my teeth out and broke my leg, and like I was an extreme guy, you know.
That's the only way to get good at that, isn't it? To like fuck your whole body up.
Yeah,
first?
you have to break yourself first.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cool.
It's like
though.
comedy.
It's cool though, cause like one of my buddies stayed in it, and he now owns like one of the biggest skate parks in Ontario, or in Canada rather too. Like, and he's doing all these big builds, and like that's his life. He lives in the skate park, and he made that his whole life, just skate park, BMX bullshit, and people getting hurt.
I always enjoy the shit you put on Facebook with the BMXers. It's
Yeah, I still
Those
try to
guys are
keep
pretty cool.
intact with that world because I love it. Like that's a big part of my world is BMX. I want to get back on a bike, but I know I'll smash my teeth out again, and
Yeah.
that's a lot of money to fix now that I don't have any insurance. But I love to get back on a BMX bike. I love hurting myself. It's great.
What did you like? Would you do tricks? Is that how you hurt yourself?
Yeah, no, I'd like hit jumps and do tricks or try to at least. But like, yeah, no, I like being in the air and jumping off stuff.
Do you think that you get that from doing stand up? The same like kind of like adrenaline? Are you adrenaline?
Yeah, no, I the adrenaline equivalent does come out through stand up in a weird way. I still get the same adrenaline doing stand up that I would get jumping BMX bikes as a kid. So I guess there might be some sort of, I don't know. I hit my head a lot as a kid.
Yeah. When I started, when you start, or do you get nervous when you do stand up now?
A little bit. It's not nervous to do stand up. I get nervous when I'm like, I gotta get on stage because this show's just happening right now, and I just want to be up there because I know either I can turn the show around or I just want to get my shit over with. Like, I just want to get up.
Yeah.
So I get a little antsy, but it's not nerves. It's more just ants of like, I just want to get on and do my shit and get out of here.
Yeah, that's what I think too. It's like almost more adrenaline when you do get up there. Like that, I was at Dunville with Steve, and the stage in Dunville is like this fucking. It's like a like 1/4-inch plywood, painted white. It's just like the friggin' shakiest stage, right? And we're both up there in 2 stools, and my stool's not the proper stool, and my mic's not the proper mic. We should have switched mics. Like everything we did was wrong, right? And I'm like, I have to bend into. So I had to bend in to talk to this mic because it's a straight stand, and then I have to like, I got my one foot up on the stool because I can't touch the ground on both, and then because I got my toe kind of like on the thing, and I got this adrenaline rushing, my fucking legs start shaking shaking.
It was really noticeable. I was like,
Oh, you
what is
noticed it?
that? And I look over and Pete's like,
Well, Steve can't help but notice that he's bouncing. Steve's bouncing on this because the stage is like
That
so
was a
flimsy.
big show.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, my leg will not stop. Like I can't stop that leg from bouncing. It's just what I should have done was I looked at the pictures after and I saw your feet and they were on the ground. And I'm like, oh man. Or if I had a strap on the guitar and I could have stood up and I could have probably still done it, you know, and then I wouldn't have had my leg doing that, but because I couldn't stop that fucking thing. And then the whole thing I'm thinking of is like how to stop this fucking leg. And then I have to think of the words at the same time.
Yeah.
But it ended up being fun. We actually had the first time ever where we had a crowd member play the slap rattle.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And it turned out to be like fun. I got to end the show with a hug from an audience member, you know?
Oh, a nice hug.
Yeah.
A nice warm
I would
hug.
try to give a handshake. She's like, no, bring it in.
Yeah.
So right from the stage, you end the show with a hug from an audience member. It's a good
There
show.
were a bunch of sweethearts
Big
out in
boobs.
Dunville last week.
Yeah, it's beautiful
They had a
crowd. I
great
love
time.
small town crowds. They're just so nice.
Thanks, Trudy. Her name was Trudy.
Trudy, yes,
Trudy,
thank you to
yeah,
Trudy.
It was
Yeah,
Trudy, yeah. She was great. She had a great time. It was a fun show.
that was Lacey's mom actually,
Was
Lacey
it really?
Victoria, who did a show for us. It was her mom actually.
Yeah, no.
Awesome.
Yeah, you gotta get Lacey on the show. She's always doing good. I think she's gonna do that gun and fishing show like in Dunville the rest of the summer every month. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
good
every
show.
month in Dunville. So if you're in the Dunville area, go check out the Gun Club show because it should be a good one. I think that's a really good show she's got going
A
on
lot
there.
of fun. Good spot.
And Lacey has been on the show before. She was on.
was she?
She was on the Wheel of Dirtbags.
Oh, yeah.
She was
Oh,
the
of
only
course.
girl that showed up.
Nice.
Lacey Victoria. What
Yeah.
a great name.
Yeah. No, she's doing good stuff in the Dunville area.
Actually, she is. She's doing really great things over there.
Yeah, always have a fun time on her shows. But yeah,
Where are we at now? We're at about 116. You want to do one thing we should do one thing to close. What do you think? What's going on? We should talk about we should do one topical thing.
Like
What-
what's going on in the world?
I never really let you get to like me being on the show. I just kind of talk through the whole thing.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I feel like
You weren't properly introduced?
yeah, I've taken on
Oh,
lots of,
shit.
but I've taken on lots of roles here tonight. I'm wearing
Yeah.
multiple hats.
It is true though. He doesn't. And let's just do a proper introduction before we end the show. We're Tyler Shazma, and we'll talk about one thing.
I'd like it.
Shazma. So good to have you on, bud.
This guy, Tyler Shazma, our guest tonight. That is a perfect shot. Not only is he the director of this show, this man is a renaissance man. He does everything. He has been on the show to promote Pop and Chip Party, which is a great skit comedy show. Look it up online. You ever hear whale pranks? That was his very first thing he was on promoting. Hey, you in Italy right now? You watch the Movie Network? Maybe you watch The Right Hand? This guy's been on it. Tyler Shazma. You like documentaries? You like documentaries about a guy that's going to burn his couch and his dad's going to steal the show at the end of the movie? Watch his documentary. Tyler Shazma's got one.
He's done it all, people.
Yeah, you like stand-up comedy? Go around the country. You're going to see this guy right here. He's going to be doing stand-up comedy. It's Tyler Shazma. He's from Burgessville, Norwich, and Otterville.
The knob.
The Knob.
The Tri-Knob.
the Tri-Knob.
Thanks, guys.
Tyler Shazma, everybody. Tyler
Thanks for having
Shazma.
me.
Did I miss a project? Did I
Happy
miss
to
a
be-
project?
Oh, probably. I'm always doing something.
Yeah, he's always doing something. This guy is you are a real Renaissance man, Shaz.
I got too many things going on.
What do you think? You gotta narrow it down and focus, or do you just need to become get an assistant?
No, I like having my hand in a lot of pots, because something's got to
that a
catch fire
euphemism?
one time, a lot of chili pots. You got to have one good one. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I like being out. I'm out in the middle of nowhere again, and I like it. It's back on the road, doing weird shows all over Highway 3. Done 3 shows on Highway 3 this week. Fuck yeah.
3 shows on Highway 3 is like,
Dunville, Nixon, Jarvis tomorrow.
Drink.
oh man, yeah. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
drinking out there.
Oh,
Even in
yeah.
Haldeman, they'll be drinking.
They're drinking everywhere.
Dunville, Nixon,
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
I got nothing else to promote. I'm not going anywhere.
You know what you should do? A Stratfordville.
Oh no! The one show that should be promoted, and I'm sure you'll promote it closer to the date, is the Manola Santano
Yes.
Girl
yes.
Penis release party, May 2nd at Hamilton Yuck Yucks. I've been lucky enough to be chosen to be part of that show,
Yeah, that's-
and it's going to be one of the best shows this year in Canada. If you're in Ontario, go to Hamilton Yuck Yucks on May 2nd for the Girl Penis release party with Manola Santanos. I can't plug that enough. He's the best person in Canadian comedy, and he'll win a Juno. Girl Penis will win a Juno next year.
You think so?
I'm gonna make sure it happens. I'll protest the Junos for Manolis' sake.
That'd be awesome if it did happen, though.
Yeah, but it's a great album. I was lucky enough to be there the night it was recorded.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was in Yucks in Toronto, right?
Yeah, he headlined Yucks Yucks downtown Toronto one weekend, and they recorded the album, and it's probably it went to #1 on iTunes, I think, in the first week it was online.
Wow.
And the release party's May 2nd at Hamilton Yuck Yucks, and that's like the only show I'm excited for this whole year.
And has Manolis been like taking old tapes, like old cassettes, and like recording his album on the old cassettes?
He's releasing it all on cassette. Well, he put it on iTunes and everywhere you can find music. Girlpenis.com, or it's out there right now. ILoveManolis.com is his website. I feel like I work for the guy.
Yeah,
I
it
pretty
sounds
much
like
do.
you
I'm
work for
wearing
the guy.
He bought me this sweater. I do work for the guy, but no, he's taking old cassette tapes out of his cassette collection and dubbing it onto cassette tape. So if you're lucky, you'll get a copy of Girl Penis by
Oh,
Manolis.
sick. Like
and
on
also
like
the end of a White Snake record,
yeah.
like the last 4.5 minutes of White Snake.
Yeah. He just like plugs up the top.
Oh, he's sitting at
great.
home right now with 2 fucking recorders, just doing it. He goes home at night. He's like, he's
Like he
crazy.
just takes the
Yeah,
cotton,
you
like
just cover
or
up the
the
little holes.
masking tape,
No
you
big
put it on the
deal.
top. No,
Yeah,
no big deal.
If you're listening right now, go buy that album on iTunes and then go to Hamilton Yuck Yucks on May 2nd for the release party, because it's all my friends on the show.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that know the show. There's like Matt Ferguson and
Matt Ferguson, Jason
Jason
Allen,
Allen,
Devin Bateson, Jordan Shear,
Jordan
Patrick
Shear's been on.
Coppolino, Manola Santanos, a bunch of other special guests, I'm sure, and it's going to be a fun show. Like, probably one of the best shows you could see in this area in the next little while. And then the only other thing I could plug is I'm doing the Poacher's Arms 4-year
Oh, yes, the
anniversary
4-year.
show on April 23rd with Jason Allen and Doug Koenig.
And I'm still trying to get on that fucking show.
Didn't you get on it because you won last
I thought
night,
I
or
got on it
Tuesday
'cause
night?
I
thought
won
you
the-
won. I thought that's why you won, because I was already booked, and I'm like, well,
That's
they
what.
get beat.
Oh no, it's because I was better than you, Shaz.
Oh, I was outside. I was outside smoking a doobie when you were on, so you're
No.
probably better than me.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not true at all. The two of us who actually went, we were both. They said to us they were there, but it was like
No matter what, it was gas money because you gave it to me.
yeah, that's right. It was a carload victory is what that
It
night was.
was.
Yeah.
we slung together.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sometimes that's what you got to do. So I have to pee so bad. Anyone else got to plug anything?
Nope.
No. Well, nothing else being said. Enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend, everybody. Enjoy giving up whatever you've give up, and do it like again, right?
Come to Jarvis
yeah.
tomorrow night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Chaz and Jarvis tomorrow night.
I don't
so-
know where.
Do it.
I can't say the place.
You
but-
just go to Jarvis and you listen for the laughter,
Yeah.
and you'll find Tyler Shazma. Anyways, until next week, everyone, give us some feedback. Why not? It helps us make the show better. Teresa, I love you. That is awesome that you
we
gave us
all
that
love
cheese.
you.
That
I
was
can't wait to eat
delicious.
the rest of that
I'm gonna eat the rest of it. I can't even wait. I'm gonna have a gherkin on the
Same
way out.
only reason I came this week is you said in your truck last week that the cheese lady was dropping something off.
Yeah,
All right.
that's how I booked Shaz. He never would have came.
It's a spice Gouda.
Yeah,
I only
he's a
work on Spice
taker.
Gouda. I only work on Spice Gouda.
Yeah, and a good Dutchman too.
That's
Until
the name of the show. I only work on Spice Gouda.
I only work on Spice Gouda. We didn't have a title. We got one now.
got one.
Nailed it.
All right. Until next week, happy Easter, everybody. We will see you, NT. See you next Thursday.
Cheers.
Pete has left the building.
2.5 hours of YouTube starts now.
So funny.
I got home that weekend and
I saw your text. You're still live, bud.
I was like, guys, I was messaging. I didn't have anybody's phone number, so I couldn't call anybody. I was messaging everybody.